Hey y'all, if you're new here, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review for Family or Fiance Season 3, Episode 8. And this was with Bridget and Andre. And I'm dripping right now. I don't got no glasses on. I was about to go rogue for a minute, knowing I can't hardly read my own handwriting. So definitely going to get into it. I missed last week. I'm back this week. So if y'all know anybody who's into Family or Fiance, be sure to share, subscribe, because I'm trying to grow my channel, of course. And it helps with the algorithm and it helps me tremendously to get my channel out there and to grow it. So let's go ahead and do that together. Grow this channel together as one. And let's jump into it. So, Bridget and Andre met on Instagram. She actually slid in his DM and she, went to shoot her shot. More power to the women who can do it. I don't got it in me to do that. I don't know. I'm not, I'll see you. If I like a picture and you don't pick up on it, baby, I'm moving on. But it worked because they are now engaged. They are in a long distance relationship. He lives in St. Louis and she lives in Cali. I'm wondering are they on the same time zone? Somebody let me know in the comments what the time difference is, because I've done a long distance relationship before, but I can't imagine doing it with a different time zone and you're 3 hours behind and all that. I can't fathom. So, she feels like, her family just isn't as close as it used to be since her father passed. And they meet up with Tracy. Same old, same old. They keep the same thing going every episode. So y'all know what it is. They see the house. They have their first meeting with Tracy. So they dated 3 months prior to getting engaged. That could be a red flag for some. I know some couples who have gotten married in short periods of time and it works out. And, sometimes people be together for 10 years and get married and it don't work out. You just never really know. But I'm sure with only being together for 3 months, it's what's the rush? Naturally, that would be people's first question. What are y'all rushing for? Is she pregnant? What's going on? So that's not the case with them. But she's going to move to St. Louis after their wedding. And they're practicing abstinence. She's not a virgin, but they're practicing abstinence and staying strong in her faith. And they're just going to wait until they say, I do. Who's coming? Her mother, her brother, and sister are coming on her side. His mother, brother, and best friend are coming to support him. Bridget's family say that they're very close. But then when they get to the house, Andre and her brother were oh, nice to meet you. And it's y'all very close, but you never met her brother. They never even spoke at any point over FaceTime or nothing. How long? I know it took 3 months to get to the engagement, but how long have y'all been together, period? They didn't even get into any of that. And also, I think Stay Tuned Reviews mentioned this on his review as well. I want to know the ages. They didn't mention that because, for a minute, I forgot that these was 2 adults. But we're going to go ahead and get into it. Her family is very upset that Bridget and Andre are sharing a room. They are livid that they are sharing a room. And I was confused because what? Okay, they're 2 grown people. I'm sure they can. They both saying they want to be abstinent. I'm sure they can handle themselves. Leave them alone. So the families discuss their concerns like they like to do. And, on his side, and most of them are they're just concerned that they don't really know each other well. And his mom wants to know how Bridget feels about moving to St. Louis and leaving her family behind in Cali. So Bridget's mom is concerned about the sleeping arrangements and she cannot shake it. She wants to address it right then and there. And they're we're not addressing nothing right now. We're just getting y'all's concerns. Are you new? Have you not watched the show before? So, because she wants to talk about it right then and there in front of everybody. Girl, what's wrong with you? Not the time, not the place. So Bridget pulls her mom to the side and she tells her that she feels a way about her comment, regarding their sleeping arrangements. And they're going, back and forth, but she I feel a way. And I just said this in my last review. Whatever I just reviewed last, y'all check it out. I think, what did I just review last? It might have been Love and Marriage Huntsville. Maybe I said it about Bell Collective or one of my other ones. Check out all my reviews, y'all. Go back and just watch if you ain't watched already. It's good, I promise you. But I just said this. Like, she's coming and telling her mom, I feel away. I don't like that you said that in front of everybody. Here go the mom. Well, I feel away. I feel away that you don't. Mama, this is about me and how I feel right now. This ain't your time to shine. You had your time. If you want to speak up, then you should have been pulling me to the room and saying you felt the way. But I pulled you to let you know how I feel. And suddenly we're talking about how you feel. Then here go her sister jumping in, talking about, is this a efficient or whatever she said? Are we having a constructive conversation? Why are you here? Like, nobody, we ain't about to be fighting. So what are you in here? Like, they can't talk? I don't need no chaperone when I'm talking to my own mama. And you know what? It just sometimes it makes me like, I'm fine with just like, I'm my mother's only child, and at this big grown age, I'm okay with it, because I can imagine sitting there telling, hey mama, I ain't like that she did that, and somebody coming in, are y'all having a good constructive conversation? She don't get on. Ain't nobody talking to you. So the couples do the standard Q&A with each other's families. Bridget seemed to have a breakthrough with Andre's mom, because Bridget lost her dad, and Andre's apparently his mom was saying that she lost her husband. I don't know if that was his biological dad or whatever, what have you. I don't know, but she lost her husband, so they shared a bond over loss and grief and things like that. Meanwhile, Bridget's mom said Andre is a distraction. I don't know. I mean, we only a few minutes in, so I don't know. I don't see how he's distracting her, because according to them, they're staying on course and staying on task with what they want to do. They're united and they're like-minded, and they want to do the same thing. So how is he distracting her? It's not like she was healing and he just, turned around and she popped up pregnant and her life was downhill. What is he distracting her from? Like, is he distracting her because he's moving her away from you and you can't have that control? We shall see. So, Bridget told Andre's mom that they sleep in separate rooms. I think his friend asked, or maybe his brother asked, when you go to visit in St. Louis, like, do you sleep in a hotel, or, where do y'all sleep? What's the sleeping arrangements? And I'm like, why is this constantly, maybe because her mom said something earlier, but I'm going to tell you right now, I'm tired of talking about how grown people is sleeping. She said she sleeps in his spare bedroom or whatever, or she sleeps in his bed and he sleeps in the spare room, I don't know. Andre, her mom, her family asked the same question for him, and he told the mom that they sleep together. When she visits, they sleep in the same bed, they sleep in his room. So they asked Andre, one of the questions was, how does he feel about being a part of a close-knit family? It's close-knit family, or it's given cult. But let me not say that. Andre, was like, look, y'all need to heal from y'all past traumas. Like, y'all dragging her down from things she's gone through, but y'all have issues as well. He's like, he looked at the one sister, you got stuff from your childhood you need to heal from. He's like, went down the line. Y'all all got something. Ain't nobody perfect. Everybody got something they need to heal and fix. So y'all ain't really like that close like y'all think y'all are. So, of course, his sister's trying to shut it down. She used to just, saying whatever she want to say, and nobody apparently say nothing back. But not Andre. He ain't, he was going toe-to-toe with her. Like, look, you ain't about to strong-arm me with your beliefs that you don't even follow, but let's get into that. So at family dinner, Bridget's sister addresses her concerns with a comment about the childhood trauma, because she felt like Bridget was just talking about her childhood trauma specifically. Like, you think when she's sitting with her man and she's talking about life, or she like, forget what I gone through, I want to tell you my sister's secrets. No. Like, what? You talking in conversation and things come up. She said, I'm discussing my childhood, but you are her sister, so you are a part of it at some point. So she's speaking about things from her point of view, and if you happen to fall in the story, then obviously you're her sister. That doesn't mean she's talking about your childhood specifically. She can't tell your story. So they move on from that, and Bridget's sister was like, okay, but, we also got a problem with the sleeping arrangements, because basically, Bridget, like he said, you was lying. You was lying to us. You told us y'all sleep in separate rooms. And Andre's like, he said, like, they sleep together. And she's like, no, we don't. First she's about to hold on to it. Eventually she's like, we're not sleeping together. Girl, come clean. You are a grown woman. I'm going to say this, because I feel like Why lie? Why lie? Like, what are you lying for? Like, you grown and you want them to look at you as such and then be grown and be like, yeah, we were sleeping in the same bed, but we didn't do anything. But at the end of the day, like, I shouldn't have to do all this explaining because it really ain't none of y'all business. Bottom line, like, we really want to get down to it. It's really not none of their business. It's really not none of their business. Like, when Andre's mom was like, you know what, like, if that's what y'all doing and y'all able to, stay firm in y'all beliefs, that's fine. Like, I wouldn't suggest doing that because of the temptation, and I'm just like, now that is a better delivery for me. Like, hey, I don't think you should because you might be tempted, but y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. But at the end of the day, like, why are we even talking about this? Like, okay, you could have touched on it that you don't agree and moved on. Like, why are we dragging it like this? And the sister, like, if my father was here, he would have never allowed this. Never allowed for her to do what? Be grown? Whew, sheesh. I am so glad I do not have parents like this. This is ridiculous. I would have packed my bag the day I turned 18 and got up out of there. This is crazy. So Andre was like, okay, but sister, didn't you live with your husband before you got married? You got so much to say, but you was living with your husband before you got married. And she jumps up and she storms off. I can't. Nope. So that's a yes. You was living with your husband before you got married. So there's that. So if that's the case, why do you have so much judgment, such harsh judgment, and so much of an opinion about what they got going on? You ain't even do it. And then it's like, oh, he talking about me, talking about it. You are the one that brought it up. Had you left it alone the last 10 times y'all mentioned it, then your business wouldn't have been out on the streets. Period. So, Bridget's mom, she's upset. And then she's like, you don't talk to me anymore. You don't tell me anything. Or why would she? And Bridget's like, you're judgmental. So, no, I don't want to tell you anything. I wouldn't have told her nothing. I would have stopped talking to her a long time ago, honestly. So, Andre ended up switching rooms with his mom to, kind of make everybody more comfortable. But Bridget was like, you know what, I'm just going to sleep out here or down here. I'm going to just sleep out. I ain't sleeping outside. You out your mind. You crazy. No, I'm not. No, I won't. But I did appreciate that him and the mom, just kind of diffuse everything. We're willing to switch rooms, and mom ended up with the nicest room, so it is what it is. It's just 2 nights, y'all can manage. The next morning, Andre apologizes to Bridget's sister, and Bridget was like, I feel like he's so brave for doing so. Brave? Is that the right choice of words for this? Because what he got to be afraid of? Like, I feel like he's just doing it out of respect because that's your sister. But it's not like, oh, he's so brave. Like, what was he about to? What he got to be afraid of? What does he got to be scared of? He apologized. He told her business, but she was in y'all business. Yes, we're here for you, but you digging into my father would have never did this and that. Listen, I understand why he responded in such ways, and I appreciate that he apologized. I do, but we're not going to act like the sister is just able to just run the show. No. So, basically, I'm thinking at this point, like, they will not accept the fact that she's a grown adult. And, she don't got to explain their sleeping arrangements when she visits him. That's their business. And she marries him. And then she sleeps. Then what? Then what you going to do? You going to be trying to control that? They got children. You going to be trying to control that? You going to be trying to control her life? Mama has some business of her own. But I'm going to leave it there. So they meet with Tracy, and Tracy basically said what I just said. She looks at her like she's still a child. Their family looks at her like she's a child, and she needs to free herself from them shackles and get up out of there. Get her own independence. Part of the reason she said she lived with her sister and a husband or some family member, get up out of there. Number one, that's why they can't look at you like you were a responsible adult. So Bridget and her family, they meet with a therapist, and her mom and brother are concerned if they're really ready because her mom said, like, she's never lived on her own, so she don't know if she's really responsible. The brother was saying they're 2 people that, don't seem like they're ready for marriage yet. I don't know where he got that from or why. What you got going on, brother? Are you ready for marriage before you start speaking on it? So the therapist is like, this is surface level. Let's dig deep. Like, we need to be talking about the family trauma because I feel some tension between y'all. So Bridget said, she was younger. She knew the Bible said to, like, wait until marriage for sex, but no one really explained to her what sex was. Like, they didn't really have the sex talk. It's just like, just don't do it, pretty much. So at 16, her innocence was taken from her. And when her mother found out, she called her out of her name, called her every name in the book, and blamed her for something that was beyond her control. Then she said her father yanked her out of the bed in the middle of the night, and he and the mother demanded that she tell them what happened. Well, why on earth would I want to tell you that now? They locked her in a room. Basically, she couldn't leave the house pretty much all day besides to eat, and that's it, and go to the bathroom. So she felt ashamed and, disgusted with herself and unsure of what happened. Her mother denied it, talking about that's not true. But she stood firm on it, like that did happen and that is my truth and my story. You're not going to take that from me. And why, as a mother, would you even want to? Just because you're worried about how you going to look? This is your daughter who is breaking down right now. Like, hear what she, as a grown woman now, is saying to you. So, her mother ended up telling her, like, she was damaged goods and all that stuff. And the mother continued to not take accountability, pretty much. The mother did apologize, but then it was like, I apologize, but type of thing. Like, don't do that. And the therapist was like, let's leave it there at the apology because you going off and I don't want to ruin it. And Bridget was like, I wish she just would have done this. Like, she would have said this 10 years ago. Seemed like Bridget just doesn't feel like the apology was sincere nor genuine. And I don't either. The sister got up and left and started shaking like, what are you going off and causing a scene? That sister was just... I don't see it for her. So after Bridget left, and she like, I'm over this, like I'm leaving. So the sister was up here acting like some kind of victim, making it about her, talking about my kids will see this one day and this and that, and they're gonna find out that you and your husband was living together prior to getting married. Okay, so maybe you want to stop being so judgmental about people who live together or sleep in the same bed or whatever before you start pointing a finger at everybody. Make sure your hands is clean. How about that? Then you won't have to worry about your kids seeing this one day. Kids probably won't even care. But you making such a big deal, now you make people care. So, they're speaking ill on Andre and Bridget's relationship. Like, they don't think it's gonna work. And the brother and the mother are definitely still blaming her, making it seem like it's her fault. She got her kids so brainwashed, it's ridiculous. And then it's like, y'all, a lot of it was talking about church and things like that. And it's like, it'd be the biggest Bible, and I'm a Christian, whatever. It's like the Bible thumpers are like the most judgmental people when they got the most skeletons in their closet. We have to stop doing this. This is why people be straying away from the church and all that, because it just be too much. But that's a whole nother video for a whole nother day. If you're doing that, then take ownership. You were human. You made a mistake as a mother. That was not the right way to go about your daughter being in this situation. You did not handle it correctly. At least try to really, really be sympathetic now. That's why she got up and walked away. Because how you going to apologize and then start talking trash the minute she walk off? Y'all crazy and talking about y'all close. Please. More like you got your kids under control and you want to keep them childlike. So they have their final meeting with Tracy. And Tracy basically said Bridget's mother is projecting on her. She's projecting how she feels about herself onto Bridget because she's unhealed herself. I can see that. Bridget is just no longer concerned with even getting the family's blessings at this point. She's like, whatever, I don't even need it. But I'm like thinking, like, okay, how long is that gonna last? Are you really gonna stand on that? Because it seems like your mother got control over you. Like, I don't think you just that in just one weekend you just don't care. I don't believe that. But they go out and Tracy tells them they're not going to do the blessings, and his family was relieved. Like, I'm glad, because that was about to be tumultuous. But her family is like, no, because this was our opportunity to tell them that basically we don't give you the blessings, and now we're not going to be able to tell them. So episode ends and we have the follow-up. Bridget and her sister's relationship has become even more strained, unfortunately, and because she thinks she's the mother. And Bridget and Andre put their wedding plans on hold because they're trying to get the blessings from their families. If y'all are waiting on that, then y'all might as well just call off the engagement altogether. And then at this point, are y'all ever going to move closer to each other in the process, or what's going on? I don't know. I hope that they work out, because they seem like they had so much potential to be a nice couple. They were very aesthetically pleasing, and it just seemed like it could have been a great thing, but you can't let your family control your life. It's your life. You got to live it. And you only got one life to live. You can't be living for everybody else. But that's what I got to say about that. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Did you watch? How are you feeling about Family or Fiancé this season? I said that in my last Family or Fiancé review. Like, I feel like they focus, like they hone in on one person, and then the couples issues per se. That doesn't get addressed because we're so focused on one person and their past traumas from childhood. But I mean, we're gonna see it this season. Gonna flip it and turn it around. Be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.